Hi YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. November 10th, it's a Wednesday, and unlike yesterday where we had 3 games to go through, we have 13 NBA games to get to today, and that's what we're going to do. I will say, we're not forcing anything today. You'd think with a 13-game slate, you'll have bets galore out here, but some of these matchups are tough. A lot of injuries, a lot of things going on off the court too for some of these matchups, so we're not forcing anything today, but we're going to go through each game. I'm going to give you my leans. I'll give you some picks I have, and then as always, keep an eye on that pinned comment for my final ticket today, as well as some player prop additions, which we won't get to any player props because it's really early right now. The player prop lines aren't all out right now, so we will add player props to the pinned comment, but we're not going to be touching on any player props in video today. It's 4:45 right now, so we don't have any final numbers or anything like that. But to recap, yesterday we went 3-2, and 3-2, winning night, right? We won just under a unit, so I'll accept it. But man, some of these ways that we're taking losses here is tough. Like CJ McCollum, we needed him to hit 3 threes. He went 0 of 2 from 3. He didn't even take enough threes to cash our over yesterday, and that's just tough. It's like the thing never had a chance. And then, we look at some of the other ones that we mentioned, like Nicholas Batum or Nurkic or Lillard's assists, those cash. We didn't put them on our final ticket. So, I mean, we will not complain about a winning night last night, but I hate the sort of, what could have been. Like, I hate even mentioning a play that I don't end up actually finally taking and then watching it cash. But, it is what it is. If I truly believed in it, I would have put it on the final ticket. So I can't be like, oh, I said that and, it should count. No, because I didn't put it on the final ticket. So that's just the way it works in this game, I guess. But let's get into today's video because we have 13 games to go through, and we're going to try and blow through it here. So this is not a 30-minute video. But let's start it off with Brooklyn visiting Orlando here. Orlando, the home dogs, 9 points. The total's 209.5. I'm going to lean Brooklyn here, right? How could you not? I don't know if this one makes the final ticket because Brooklyn has been pretty inconsistent, but they're coming off a loss, and Orlando's coming off a big win. So this kind of just sets up for a big Brooklyn game to me. No crucial injuries that we have to talk about, so I think the better team here is Brooklyn, and I don't know if that's going to drop any jaws. Everyone should know that. And 9 points here. I hate laying that type of number, but I'm definitely strongly leaning towards that. I think that Brooklyn obviously is well within their realm to be able to clean up Orlando and lay a double-digit win. So I'm strongly leaning Brooklyn. That one might be on the card tonight. In terms of a total, not going to touch that. 209, my numbers come to 203. That's pretty damn close. Both low scores there, so I'm not going to be touching the total. Moving on, Washington visiting Cleveland here. Cleveland home dogs again, 3.5 points here. The total's 211.5. This to me feels like a good spot for Washington. I feel like Cleveland's been overperforming, but Washington isn't the type of team that can stop a team when they're overperforming, if that makes sense. So in terms of the sides here, I don't think I'm going to be taking that. I might lean over, though. I don't know if either of these teams are getting the credit they deserve in how many buckets they can drop, and I don't think that either of them really are defensive teams. So 211.5, I would lean over, and that one might make the final ticket. My only concern is that we have seen so much. It's hard to bet overs. It seems like it's hard to bet overs in this new NBA with the difference in fouls and everything. But that is probably my play on this game. It's going to be the over in the Cleveland and Washington game. Next up, we have Houston hosting Detroit. Houston 1.5 favorites here. The total's 210.5, and I think you are a psycho if you can see a clear victor here. I have no read on this game. These are two absolutely terrible teams. My lean would just be to go to the home team. But man, let me know in the comments down below if you're a psycho and you see a winner here, because my crystal ball gives me no sort of play here. Like this is a game that I'm just saying, like, wow, two bad teams could get sloppy. Anything could happen. They could play zero defense. They could miss all their shots. You can't even look at the total. So I'm off this game, and I'm not giving this game much time at all. But let me know in the comments, guys, if you do have a play here in the Detroit-Houston game. Next up, we have the Knicks hosting the Bucks, and this is probably one of the best games on the board here tonight. We have Milwaukee getting 3 points on the road, so New York has a home favorite here. The total's 215.5. I know Milwaukee just played last night. They ended up covering. That was one of our picks. They covered against Philly. There are some big question marks on the board tonight in terms of injuries. Brook Lopez, questionable. And then on the New York side of things, both big men, Nerlens Noel and Mitchell Robinson, are questionable. This is a 215.5 total. My numbers say 206. We had Milwaukee's under last night, and that did not cash, so I'm hesitant to play that, but I do like an under here. I think that this is the type of game where on the back-to-back, Milwaukee's not going to be running and gunning, and I feel like New York, in order to beat Milwaukee, thinks that they're going to have to slow the pace down and kind of run at their own pace, so I would probably lean New York in the under here. It's so close of a margin there that I don't know if I'm going to pull the trigger on it, but my probably favorite play would be under 215.5. And when I say favorite, I still don't love it. So this could be a stay away game, guys. And I know you guys love coming to these videos to hear, hey, stay away from that game. But hey, I already told you in the first minute of this video, right? We're not forcing anything tonight. Just because there's a big slate doesn't mean we have to have, a million plays tonight. But here is one that we are going to have a play on, and it's kind of against the public and against the majority out here. So Boston's taking on Toronto. Boston is a 2-point favorite at home. The total is 209.5. I'm not going to be touching that total. That's just a weird number to me. Boston's without Jaylen Brown for the foreseeable future. No big injuries on the Toronto side of things, but Toronto coming off 2 losses to Cleveland and Brooklyn, and the Celtics coming off a big, tough loss to Dallas. I say it all the time. I might be biased towards the Celtics, but I am going to be taking the Celtics here. If the Celtics didn't get absolutely pumped by Toronto earlier in the season, I don't like this spot for them. But I think at home, they've just started to play better basketball. I know they're without arguably their best player in Jaylen Brown, but I like the spot against Toronto in some sort of a revenge game here. Like I said, I'm not touching the total. I would lean over, but I'm not going to be touching that. But I am going to be all over Boston -2. And if you want the take it with a grain of salt, then fine, because I'm a huge Celtics fan. But we are going to be leaning and most likely taking Boston -2 here. Next game, we have Memphis hosting Charlotte. Memphis 4.5-point favorites at home. The total is 228.5. Both these teams can score, so that's why that total's so high. So I think I'm off the total, but I don't know. This is the last game of a tough road trip for Charlotte. Most people would be like, oh, because it's the last game in a tough road trip, you got to just fade them. Like, they're not going to win, but to me, I feel like Memphis has been riding kind of a high. They're 3 out of their last 4 they've taken the win in. And Charlotte, who started the year so well, has all of a sudden just faded off into the abyss. But I kind of like them here. Maybe that's a crazy play and a non-popular play, but I like Charlotte 4.5 here. I would love to see it get above 5 or at least 5, so I'm going to be holding off on playing this. But it's going to be Charlotte, +5 or nothing for me here. I'm not going to take Memphis. I know Memphis has won us some money lately, but I for whatever reason, get a feeling that Charlotte is 0-5 in their last 5 against the spread, and they're 0-5 overall as well. At some point, you have to play well, and I get it. The spot with the last game on their road trip, you'd think, oh, just breeze through this, then you'll get home, but I don't know, man. I for whatever reason, I'm getting a feeling that, Charlotte's ready to at least just end this. They're looking in the locker room saying, guys, we have one more road game. Let's just win it. And maybe they even win this one outright. So I'm definitely looking at Charlotte +4.5 here. I'm hoping it gets to 5. Maybe for whatever reason it can get to 5.5. But that's the way that I'm leaning. And that could be a crazy person pick, but it's what I'm leaning right now. Next up, Bulls. This is one of my favorite spots of the night. Bulls hosting the Mavericks. Bulls are 3.5-point favorites here. Total's 12.5. And I am going to be all over Chicago here. Dallas has been playing really good basketball. I totally get it. But they've beat San Antonio, Boston, and New Orleans in their 3-game win streak here. Not necessarily, the biggest competition that they've beat here. And a lot of those games have all been super, super close. Charlotte, on the other hand, they beat Brooklyn. They've beat Utah. They lost to Philly by just a few points 2 times in a row. Like, This Chicago Bulls team still, I feel, has not gotten the respect from Vegas that it deserves. And at home here, I think that this is a great spot for them. Only 3.5-point favorites. This is probably my favorite spot of the night. So I am going to be riding with the Bulls 100%. Like that one, I always say check the pin comment for my final play, which, by the way, check the pin comment for my final plays here. But, man, the Chicago Bulls, I'm going to be all over tonight. Like, you don't have to check the pin comment for that one. -3.5. I would take that thing all the way up to, like, 5 if I needed to. So, I'm all over the Bulls -3.5. I'm going to get that one in early, then watch the line and maybe even double up on it if it moves in the favorable direction. Next, we have the Pelicans hosting the Thunder. This is another one of those games where, guys, I'm just not going to take this. I'm not going to touch this game. Two bad teams, very similar to Detroit and Houston. Like, I don't have a read on this game. I don't want to force a read on this game, so I'm just going to be passing this game. I'm not looking at it too closely. Sacramento's taking on the Spurs here. Looks like it's a pick 'em right now. Total's 220.5. I like Sacramento in this spot. I know they're the away team, but it's not like the Spurs are this, Goliath at home. The Spurs are 2-2 against the spread at home, and Sacramento's 4-1 against the spread away. So I really like Sacramento in this spot, and that's probably going to be on the final ticket. Just depending on some injuries here. I do want to see if Halliburton's playing. But, in terms of the San Antonio side of things, Jakob Poeltl, Zach Collins, they've seemingly struggled without those guys. So I am going to be looking at Sacramento here. It's a pick 'em, so probably get some good odds there as well. Next, we have Indiana traveling to Denver. Denver home dogs here, 1.5. They're getting, and total's 213.5. This is a tough one. I think I'd want to take the Pacers just because of everything that's going on with Denver. No Jokic, obviously no Murray too. They have some drama now off the court with this Jokic versus Morris type thing. Maybe their heads necessarily, aren't going to be right in it. I wish they were playing a little bit better of a team, I'll be completely honest, than the Pacers, that I could confidently take it. But I'm probably leaning Pacers here. They're getting Malcolm Brogdon back most likely, so that's probably a lean for me. Maybe a lean at best as of right now. I might lock that in, keep an eye on the pinned comment, but for now, it is just a lean as of right now. Next, we have the Suns hosting the Trailblazers. The Suns, 6.5-point favorites. Trailblazers on the second night of a back-to-back here. They played the Clippers last night and lost by 8. Total's 220.5. For whatever reason, I want to take Portland in some sort of a bounce-back spot here, but I didn't necessarily love how they played last night. So it's tough for me to take them, and the Suns are on absolute fire. So this one might be where I look at it and say, you know what? You don't have a good feeling about either side of this, so maybe stay away from the spread. I could totally see this being an under-type ball game because, you think of the Suns, you think of the Blazers, and you say, oh my God, those teams don't play defense and they just score a bunch of points, right? Well, I think that the Suns can actually play some D. I think Portland on the second night of the back-to-back, maybe shots don't all fall. So I would look at the under here, but tough game to play here because it's just a large number, right? Like if you look at that spread, it's like you say Suns taking on the Blazers, it shouldn't be a 6.5-point spread. That should be 3.5 to 4, 4.5 maybe. But Portland's on the second night of a back-to-back, so we'll see. I don't really have a strong play for you guys there, and I'm not going to force a play for the content. Miami taking on the Lakers. This injury report as of right now looks like someone fell asleep on the question mark button on their keyboard. But, with hopes that maybe PJ Tucker plays or Tyler Hero plays, I am going to be all over Miami tonight. The Lakers also have Anthony Davis questionable, Rondo questionable, LeBron's out indefinitely, obviously, but I'm really keeping my eye on that Tyler Hero injury because I think that that's a huge piece to the Miami team here. And if Tyler Hero's a go, I'm most likely going to be all over Miami -4.5 against the Lakers. Don't love the total. My number came to exactly what Vegas had, which was 214.5. So I'm gonna be off that total, but I do like Miami -4.5 if Tyler Hero is a go. And then last game of the night, we have the Warriors hosting the Timberwolves. Warriors 7-point favorites, 221.5 total. My number came to 214.5. So take that and do whatever you want with it. It looks like it's under there, but I already have a play on this game that I think I'm locking in, so I'm not going to touch the total, but I like the Warriors -7. You know, that's one of the teams that we've been riding this season, so shocker here, we're riding them again. We're going to go with Warriors -7. That one's going to be on the ticket, and I know we get the comments, oh my God, well, you know, Minnesota has lost so many games in a row. The Warriors have won so many games in a row. Like, at some point, you know, the other shoe's got to fall, right? But I don't think Minnesota is that good, and I don't know why people don't realize how good Golden State is. Like, this is the old Golden State team we're watching. You know, they've lost one game this season. They're 9-1. I think that they can easily cover 7 against Minnesota, and I'm very transparent when I say we're taking Warriors, because I've said over and over again, we can ride the Warriors and we will ride the Warriors until it blows up in our face. You know, like, if you were to look back in tomorrow morning and say, oh my God, Minnesota, you know, covered easily against the Warriors, I wouldn't be like, oh my God, I'm shocked. No, it's 2 NBA teams, and that's a decent number to lay. But why would you not ride the hot hand, right? So I'm going Warriors -7 here. But guys, keep an eye on the pinned comment for my final ticket. I want to say, as of right now, we probably have 4 or 5 plays, and you could probably tell about how I sort of phrase those games out, but keep an eye on the pinned comment. That is going to be my final ticket, and obviously all player props tonight will be added to the final ticket as well in the pinned comment. So hopefully you guys are winning some bread here. We did win last night. So close to winning more, but it is what it is. You know, we were gun shy a little bit, and some of those bullets would have hit. So we'll catch you guys in tomorrow's video. Peace out.